Okay. Check. Hi, everybody. Hey, yes. Yes, hi, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Thank you for coming tonight. A big welcome to all of you. My name's Scott. Welcome to this thing. Set your expectations low. It'll make it magical. All right. How many of you actually have partaken in a liturgy of not giving up on ourselves? I know a few people have. Great. So a good portion of you have never been to something like this, and that's wonderful. I like to run through a few things before we get started about just kind of give some context about what's going to happen in this glorious room tonight. The first one is we're all here, and it's great to be here in Raleigh together. Yes! Yes, and I love this room and this community, and this is a great space. It's unbelievable what's happening in this room. It's so cool. We also know that we're all here, right? In the larger sense of the word, we all exist. And what we know about being here is that life is this interesting mix of sacred moments and dick jokes at the same time. Now, you can't go to the comedy club and be too sacred because they're like, hey, that's not the place for this. Nor can you go to the sacred space and be too crass because that's not the place for that either. And I understand and I respect both contexts and why they exist. I just think that when we're in either one, we wish it was like a little bit more because we understand that we're a little bit more. And so in order for us to have the conversation I think we need to have tonight, we're going to make that space for that little bit more. And that's what's going to happen here. All right. Number two, we're all human beings here, and if you're not, I'd love to meet you afterwards, but as human beings, you're probably going to need to do some human things tonight. If you need to step out and catch a breath, make a phone call, whatever you need to do, I want you to feel comfortable moving around the cabin of tonight's performance, all right? This is your room as well. You're not going to ruin the show. It's not going to all fail if you have to get up and use the bathroom. I just want you to feel comfortable in this room, okay? This is your room too. Do your human things. Great. Number three, you're gonna die one day! I don't know if you realize this, but you're a finite human being. That means you have a beginning and an end, and one day it'll come. So enjoy your life. It's a miracle. We have the math for that. And it's a miracle to be enjoyed because one day it's gonna be over, so you're gonna die one day. It's just a friendly reminder from your neighborhood artist that you are a finite being. Look, I'm an artist. I wear mostly dark clothing because it's slimming, and I'm an artist, and I'm brooding. We'll probably talk about dying tonight at some point. Great. Number four, phones. Yes, it's probably a good time to silence your phone or turn it off. A lot of places say, please put away your phones, but I want to let you know that you're free to use your phones tonight. There's going to be some stuff going up on this room, on these slides and stuff. If you want to take pictures or any of that, please do. If you want to take notes or whatever, feel free to use your phones. I'm Scott the Painter on all socials, so if you want to post, I love what you see, repost it. So there you go. Now, religion. Look, the reason all faith traditions tell old stories is because in telling those old stories, we see that we're in the same kind of story right now. Tonight, I'm going to reference a couple stories, old stories that come from a tradition I'm most familiar with. In no way am I asking you to believe in anything, to sign up for anything. This isn't a cult meeting, although this is exactly what I imagine a cult meeting would look like. I'm simply telling this old story to help us see that we might be in the same kind of story right now. With that said, this is a liturgy of not giving up on ourselves. Now, a liturgy is a word mostly used in a religious context. It means the work of the people. It's the elements of a ceremony or a ritual that you put together to have a transformative experience. So tonight, we're going to have a transformational experience. I'm going to be your story porter. I'm going to carry the heavy bags of performing tonight to make sure you're not bored. But I asked a number of people in this room to help me make this liturgy. 4 people I asked to do some very specific things, and we will meet them later on. Now, 24 of you I asked to answer a question. Now, if I gave you a question to answer, would you take that piece of paper and hold it up in the air, okay? And now would you stand up? You're like, come on, you didn't tell us we had to do that. Would you stand up? And to the people who are standing up, would you exchange your answer with somebody else? Like, basically get rid of your paper. Move around, come across, whatever you need to do. Do it like 2 or 3 times. Just get it away from you. Don't do it 6 times, because for some reason you get yours back on the 6th time. I'm not sure how that works, but it does. Great, and when you feel like... Oh, Sarah, go the distance. When you feel like you've done enough, you can find your seat again, okay? Just one more. Yeah, there's one more. Here, somebody wants one more exchange. Great. Find your seat again. So, Throughout tonight, there will be many things that come up on the screen, but there will be a series of numbers that come up and are called out. When the number that you now have is called, what we all need you to do is simply where you're at, if you could stand up and just, as loud as you can, read the answer that's on the piece of paper. Everybody here understands that the answer you now have is not your own, but represents somebody's story, experience, or perspective that's in this room. Is everybody who I asked to participate, do you understand what I'm asking you to do? And is everybody cool with that participation? Because this is your moment to get out of it if you want. I respect boundaries. So we're all good with this? Great. All right, I think we're ready to start. Ready? Let's do this. This is Say Yes, a liturgy of not giving up on ourselves.